Rolling Willits Home and Stories, videoing Teri Willits interviewing Sheila Harjo.
We're here at the
Grissom Mansion.
Grissom Henderson Mansion in Seminole, Oklahoma. And the tribe purchased this mansion from the previous owners who had ill health, as I understand it. You should be telling this.
The tribe bought this property from Kenneth and Rose Henderson. They bought the property, 15 so years ago, and lived here and restored it to its original look. They brought in people they had buyers out in Europe who bought pieces that you see here that actually fit the time period in which the Grissom Mansion was built, which was in the early 20s. So.
And we're sitting in a couple of those chairs. They're relatively comfortable.
So today you want to talk about Mama?
I do. I want to talk about her crawling around on her hands and knees, literally. I don't mean this figuratively, literally on her hands and knees on top of a mountain in Montana. And she was looking for fossils for me because I collect minerals. Now, that is such a loving and wonderful thing. And I still have them, and I show them to everyone, and they're totally amazed. And they're even more amazed when I tell them where they came from. She also, for Christmas one year, sent me a weather doll, which is blue yarn. And if it's standing straight out, it's windy. If it's dripping wet, it's raining. If it's just standing still, there's no wind. It's a very nice day. I can't remember the rest. It all came with a card, though, and it explains everything. And you know what? As primitive as it is, it's always right. It's never wrong. And I still have that, and I enjoy it. It's treasured memories.
You know,
Sheila and her mom took me. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I said that the fossils were little stars.
They are actually a plant. I found out by going into Google. I thought they were starfish, but they're not. They're actually a water plant.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I didn't either until I read that, and they may not know either. But they look like little starfish, and they're actually marked exactly like starfish are today. They have the same markings on them, except they're about the size of a grape seed.
Yeah, they're not very big. I remember she had them in a little medicine bottle.
Yes.
And there were several of them in there.
Yes. And I've got them in a little tiny maroon velvet jewel box. And they are one of my treasured treasures. I can't believe that. I mean, she only met me once. I can't believe that she was that loving. Well, of course I could believe it. I have proof. But it was amazing to me that anybody would go to that much trouble for me.
Well, you and Mama were kind of like a kindred spirit.
We were, God. I mean, the very first time I saw her, it was like meeting my family.
Yeah. And that's just the way, because you would go out the way to do that for somebody. And she did it and didn't think anything twice about it. That's just the way Mama was. When she met somebody, she had a connection to, it was just like you. She knew it instantly. So like I said, she was always like a kindred spirit to you.
Yes.
So.
And that is wonderful. That makes my heart happy, even now.
Yeah. She always talked an awful lot about you. She said, you know that woman out in California that's crazy like me?
Wait, you have to tell them why you and your mom named me Crow Woman. You have to tell it. I've told it many times. Now your turn, because you're responsible.
I may be responsible, but I really don't remember.
You don't remember taking me around that day?
I remember taking you around and showing you everything, but I don't remember why I called you Crow Woman.
Because I couldn't shut up. Asking questions, talking. Oh, look at that, look at that. It's like you'd never seen it before.
No,
I think that may have been the reason.
Like I said, I don't remember coming up with that name. I just remember, we went all over the place looking at different things.
You didn't actually say it to my face. You said it to your mom, and she laughed, and I adopted it. Because then your mom told me.
Yep.
All of that occurred outside the museum, I think, when we went to see the stitching that the ladies did from the tribe. And what surprised me so much was those really high-necked Victorian dresses. Mm-hmm. It just, that didn't compute. It didn't fit my picture of what the Seminole ladies would wear. I don't know what my picture was, but it wasn't Victorian high-neck dresses. I know that.
Well, because, talking about the Seminole, we're one of the 5 civilized tribes. And we were more civilized than what they called the other tribes. The Seminoles, the Cherokees, Creek, Choctaws, Chickasaws. And we adapted the non-native way more than anybody else. We were farmers. We accepted the church religion, so that's why they had the high neck dresses.
Well, you also, I know during the Civil War, allowed escaped slaves into the tribe as full members. Mm-hmm. Now, that's one of the few things that I know about your traditions and history.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, some of the Seminoles, because they were farmers, actually owned slaves when they came here. And then when the war happened, because the Seminoles fought with the South to maintain that slavery, and they freed them, so that's how some of the freedmen came into the tribe as well. Not only did we allow them to come in, join us, but some of the Seminoles, the richer ones, actually owned slaves.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, live and learn. And I learn something every time I come to Seminole, Oklahoma. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, sorry. I remember here. I'm going to just poke my head in here real quick, okay? Are y'all videotaping?
Yes.
But Mama was not Seminole. She was non-Indian. My dad was the full-blood Seminole.
Wait a minute. Your mom was not?
Mom was not Seminole. She was not Indian at all.
This is a woman I loved. And still do. Apparently, I didn't know a lot about her. But when you love somebody, you don't really have to know anything about them. You just know.
Mom and Daddy got married.
This no.
Yeah. Mom and Daddy got married when she was 14.
Okay.
And he was 10 years older than Mama was. He was 24. And so all she ever knew was being Seminole.
Okay, so by birth she wasn't. However, by nature or nurture,
that's all she was.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. I was wrong, but I wasn't that wrong.
Well, you weren't the only one. When Jerry Haney, one of our former chiefs, was running for election, he called Mama one time. And he said, Wanda, he said, this is Jerry, I'm calling for your vote. Will you vote for me for the election? And she told him, yeah, I'll vote for you, but I don't think they'll let me. He said, why not? Because I'm not Seminole. The kids are, but I'm not Seminole. He said, oh yeah, that's right, you're not Seminole, are you?
And how long did he know her?
He'd known her for years because Jerry ran for chief in the 90s, and he knew her when Mom and Daddy got married, so, 30 years. But everybody always forgot that she was not Seminole because she was always here.
Well, I don't think it really mattered.
No, because in her heart, she was Seminole.
There you go.
Yeah. And she knew more about being Seminole than a lot of people do.
What I got on tape is what I wanted to say about your mom. Okay, I wanted everybody to know that Wanda last name?
Little.
Wanda Little. Now, see, I knew that because I still have the card she sent with the wind doll. But apparently my memory is not letting me pull out my files immediately right now. Anyway, I wanted everyone to know how wonderful she is. And I want that on tape. I want people to see it on Facebook and on YouTube. So now I have done what I wanted to do, and it's such a very, very, very minuscule, minute tribute to Wanda. But she was, if you had known her, you would have loved her like I did. Immediately. She was just one of those grab you people, grab your heart right away. And this is her loving daughter, who I adore also. And I don't know why. Because we only see each other once a year.
Not even that much.
Well, sometimes not that much, right?
Yeah. You're my adopted mama. You just can't get after me.
Well, I have certainly done most of the talking, haven't I? And you've got the mic.
Yeah, I have the mic.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story about Mama.
Okay.
Let you kind of know how she was. Mama loved animals. I think you may have heard about the dog, the Shar-Pei she had. She named Hoochie. But she always loved animals, always had animals growing up at home. We had a little bitty puppy, not a puppy, but a little dog. I don't even know what kind she was. Her name was Peanuts. And she had puppies one year, and she was under the house, and it was wintertime. And when Mama found the puppies, they were half frozen. So she brought them in the house, put them in towels, turned the oven on, and warmed the puppies up in the oven.
Oh, okay.
And they lived.
All of them?
All of them lived.
And, well, Peanuts ought to be happy.
Yeah. But Mom was always doing something like that. We couldn't believe she was putting dogs in the oven to warm them up and heat them. And
well, where else would she put them?
Well,
in her bra?
Well, that's just it. Nobody else would have thought, to put them any place other than the oven. Yeah, but Mom, she did whatever she could for dogs.
Yep.
And then that dog, Hoochie, I don't know if we told you or not, but we had her cremated when Mama passed away and buried her with Mama.
Did you?
Yeah. So, and that's a whole other story on itself.
Good.
So Mama took her dog with her, but the dog would have mourned herself to death. When Mama was sick, she would just cry and cry and cry. So when Mama was in the hospital, she stayed with us. She'd move her bed. The dog would grab her bed, move it to mine and Leonard's bed, and she'd lay there and cry. The minute Mama came home from the hospital, she'd grab that mattress thing that Mama had fixed, drag it back to her Mama's bed and lay there. So.
Yep. My stepdad had a Pomeranian that we had to have put down because it wouldn't leave his room after he died.
Well, that's why she would live.
He would not leave. He wouldn't eat. He wouldn't drink. He wouldn't do it. He was going to die in that room. So, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. We've had people ask us, whatever happened to your mom's old dog? We said, we buried her with Mama. And you could see the look on their face. They was trying to picture that big old Shar-Pei in the casket with Mama.
It's in a jar now.
And
in a box.
One of our good friends, she sat there, she said, I know I missed your mama and I cried. It was really hard on me when your mom passed away. But I don't remember that big old dog up there in that casket with her. And we just laughed, and that's when we had to tell her that it was cremated. It was actually in a little cedar box.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
that's another interesting thing that you showed me is the cemetery with the little
houses
on top of the graves.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of that? I made up my own story. I have no idea what it means.
You might have to ask Leonard the purpose of that one. I really don't know.
Okay, well, that's two of us, but I made up a really interesting story about it, and I've already told it once. Oh, we have to wind up. Look at this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, well, that's it from wherever we are in Seminole, Oklahoma.
Now it's time for somebody else.
Home and stories. One more day. Seeing Sheila and